every veteran, there is a story about a calling to serve, to fight for the freedoms of the American people. And every story has a struggle, a sacrifice, and invisible wounds. Warrior Watts programs help veterans recover from PTSD and invisible wounds through exercise, nutrition, and connecting with other veteran leaders. It is estimated that 22 veterans die each day by suicide, and another 30 veterans die each day by substance abuse. These are preventable deaths. Warrior Watt is committed to fighting PTSD through fitness, nutrition, and community. We've got the privilege and opportunity to support our heroes in their time of need. Will you join us and take action?
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you serve in the military? If so, you can obtain a free lifetime pass to more than 2,000 federal recreation sites. These sites are located across more than 400 million acres of public lands, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and forests. The lands host activities to fit any lifestyle: hiking, biking, fishing, camping, and much more. Gold Star families are also eligible for these free lifetime passes. Plus, they cover entrance fees for a driver and all passengers in a car, or up to 3 additional adults at sites that charge per person. Obtaining one is easy. Just go to the National Park Service website, nps.gov, or the National Park Service app.
All right. Welcome back. Fit Nation. We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their story to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the Misfit Nation. If you're a musician or actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share some of your tips with the Misfit Nation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you're a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and share how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you're a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and just share your story with the Misfit Nation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or are embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you're a new listener, welcome to the Misfit Nation. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast apps and also on our YouTube channel at @_Misfit Nation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date with our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show. All right. Welcome to our Sunday after dinner show. We are live in a rainy day here in Tennessee, but we're able to spend our time with you tonight and make sure our guest has the utmost information for you to give out tonight, and maybe put some stuff in your toolbox that'll help you become a better person today, tomorrow, and into the future. Our next guest has helped over 50 people transform their physical and mental health. His ultimate goal is to help transform other people's lives from their mind to their bodies, no matter what their fitness level. Whether you want to gain muscle and strength, burn fat, do a body recomposition, or simply just gain more flexibility and mobility, he wants to help you become an even better you. So without further ado, let's welcome to the Misfit Nation, Roman Fischer, high performance coach. Welcome, Roman.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Gotcha now.
One moment. Should be connected. That's weird. 1 second.
All right, well, while Roman's getting this stuff together, we'll go to a quick commercial here right quick.
This is a message from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Got a question about your VA benefits, healthcare, or eligibility? Go to va.gov, where you can access a new interactive chatbot to ask questions 24/7. One can still browse va.gov for information, but you can now ask specific questions to the chatbot, like what's the PACT Act? How do I apply for disability benefits? What's my claim status? You can access the new feature through va.gov's Contact Us page. Then click on the Start Chat button. The chatbot will continue to improve veterans' access to information about the benefits and services they've earned. This is one way VA is offering seamless and secure access to its online resources.
All right, we're back with Roman Fischer. Roman, how are you?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing pretty well. It's great to have you here. I know it usually takes a while for us to get LinkedIn and stuff based off Podmatch, based on calendars and such. Thanks for being patient and getting your slot in and of course, showing up.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, Roman, I gave basically a 2-sentence blurb about you right there to introduce you. Tell the audience a little bit more about your why, from as far back as you want to go to how we got to where we are today.
Yes. So I wasn't always, it's crazy to say this, but I wasn't actually always into fitness from the very get-go in the very beginning of my life. Now, there were a few things and a few factors at play that did push me into where I'm at now and what I do today. So a few of those things, one being not so serious, one being a lot more, serious and emotional. But my brother, seeing him, my younger brother, get into weightlifting, that really inspired me. I was 15 when he actually started weightlifting, and seeing my younger brother do that, I was like, okay, I'm skinny. He was skinny, but if my younger brother can do that, surely I can do that too. So seeing him make that transformation and just over time, seeing him gain muscle strength and just develop more confidence too, just all around. That was huge for me, seeing my younger brother do that. So that inspired me and really encouraged me to go down that path. And that's when I just took up weightlifting and I never looked back, because that's just one of those things you can't put down, no pun intended. You can't put down weightlifting when you get into it. It's just a really good, healthy addiction. Beyond that, though, and this was a much, much more serious matter, this is what really helped, develop me into the nutrition side of things and get me really invested in eating healthier, cleaner, and just really eliminating a lot of the toxic, foods that people consume on a daily basis. But seeing my grandpa, he was one of those people in my family that I grew up with, and I was really close to, close to my grandpa throughout the years. But seeing him just pass away, due to poor health, cancer. He was, speaking of the military, he actually used to, he was in the military actually earlier on in his life, but he let himself go after he got out of the service. And he was a heavy, heavy sugar addict, one of those people that just couldn't put down sugar. So that was, I hate to say it, but that was sadly what really caused, what caused him to get cancer and go off the deep end in that regard. But while that was a difficult thing for me to deal with when I was, just barely 20 years old about when this happened, when he passed away, my mom got the news of it. And then I found out through her, and she found out from her brothers who all lived in Wisconsin where he passed away. But that was a wake up call for me because I was also a sugar addict. Granted, I probably want to get cancer in the next few years, but you know, that's just something you got to be very conscious about. You got to be very aware and really just know what you're putting in your body. And seeing that in my family, when you have someone that you know, trust, and love, and they just basically vanish, right before your eyes. I mean, that's just not something that you can take lightly. So because of that, I couldn't just walk away from that and not fix my own diet. So that really encouraged me and inspired me to turn over a whole entire new leaf and not go down that same path. So while that did put me in a deep depression, understandably so, and it really just made it hard to really want to do much of anything. But at the same time, that's what really inspired me to not, be the same anymore. And from there, after I got further into my overall cleanse, not just with the workouts, but the healthy eating, I also did a lot of heavy research and investigations into what I was putting in my body. And it's crazy, 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 crazy. All the stuff that I was eating, the Twizzlers, I would eat a lot of Twizzlers, Hershey's, Reese's, basically any candy that you could think of. And after all that, it was nuts seeing all the ingredients that they put into that alone, not even to mention all the sugar content in those candies. And the fact that we get a lot of sugar, a lot more than we should, and like, one serving of candy, and it's well above what our required dosage is in a day. So just really investigating what I was putting in my body from every possible ingredient. And then from there, just making a valid effort and just being more hyper aware. And that way I could just eliminate all the bad toxic ingredients and chemicals that were pumped into my body through the food and the drinks I was consuming. And from there, that's when I just turned over a whole new leaf, and I'd never looked back since. That's what got me into the fitness and the health side of things. From there, though, I wanted to inspire other people along the way. I didn't want to just help myself. That was the initial goal, to cleanse myself. But from there, I got so addicted to it in a good way, got so addicted to it that I wanted to share that same, high, or that same rush that I was getting with all the endorphins from the gym and just the overall better confidence that I had from working out. Not even to mention just feeling a lot more energetic, a lot just healthier, a lot healthier, even younger than what I was. I mean, obviously, I was young when I got into fitness, but I felt that much younger, and I felt like, my energy of it, of a kid. My energy was of a kid in a young adult body, basically. And that was cool, just having that rush, that high, that experience, and then being able to share that with other people. I wanted to not have everyone else around me go down that same path that my grandpa went down. So that's when I made that valid effort to just change one body at a time, starting with my sphere of influence and going out from there, and ultimately just transforming everyone that I could help, and everyone that needed help around me.
Outstanding. And I know I read in your bio that you also acted and did some physique competitions as well, acted alongside big name actors. Do you care to share any of that with us?
Definitely. Yeah. So, in addition to getting into fitness and doing a lot of the fitness training, I have done acting and modeling. And some of the really cool experiences I've had were, acting alongside Jennifer Taylor from Two and a Half Men. That was cool. That was really, really neat. So, in addition to her, I also acted alongside Mahershala Ali. He was a he was an Oscar-winning actor from the movie Moonlight. It was, I think, in 2016. That's when that was nominated for, Best Picture or something of the sort like that. And then, in addition to that, too, just in the past couple years, and it's supposed to come out this year, later this year, but I acted alongside Dennis Quaid, who played former President Ronald Reagan. Yeah, that was a crazy experience to say the least. And
Yeah.
I was that Secret Service agent. They gave me a real life Uzi, obviously not loaded, but a real life Uzi, and just acted like I was, protecting the president and shooting any, enemies in sight.
Wow. Dennis Quaid's a big one right there. I'm sure he had some good stories to tell you. Tell you maybe, hopefully, you were able to sit down and get some mentorship from him on acting and staying in the business as long as he has.
Yeah, he's he's still in it. Yeah, he's still at it.
He has that long resume, so if you could have got just a couple tidbits from him, I'm sure you'll be good.
Oh yeah.
So what I mean, we talked about your brother giving you that motivation. Little brothers usually push big brothers when they do something crazy like that, get into weightlifting. Made you make that turn to get into weightlifting. Who else inspires you to do great things now?
Yeah. So honestly, and it might sound cliche to some of the people in bodybuilding, but Arnold Schwarzenegger, he really has inspired me for several years now. Other than just the bodybuilding side of things, because like that's his main call to fame, but also the fact that he's been successful in almost everything he's touched, from politics to fitness, bodybuilding to also even, you know, acting even. And I think he even did some filmmaking and real estate investing. But in all the areas that he's touched, that alone, even if I wouldn't like some of those niches, however you say that, even if I wouldn't like some of those, the fact that he's been able to accomplish so much in so many different areas of his life is really inspiring and really astounding, to say the least, to me. But I will say what's even more motivating for me with him, and looking up to him, is the fact that a lot of what he did, I actually happen to like too. So he's definitely one of those key core people that are like my idol, so to speak.
The person you look to, even if you just have a picture on the wall or a picture on your desk to say, "Look, what would you do right now?" It's like some people, they analyze other things. Hey, what would you do in this situation? That's what I'm going to do.
Oh yeah.
Definitely, that's awesome. And as you started your journey, you started, like you said, you weren't a big fitness person growing up until your brother gave you that challenge and you challenged and accepted there. What was your biggest obstacle that you have overcome? Not just getting into the industry, but staying in it and staying, I guess, a force in this industry.
Yeah, for sure. So, really, the biggest struggle starting out, before I got really consistent with just everything from the workouts to the nutrition, I would really say it was the diet side of things. A lot of people say, while working out can be intense for some people and very tiring, of course, they do say diet is not only 80% of it, but also that's where most people fail, because you can't really outrun the fork, as they say. And that's what I like to say myself, even. But that was the hardest, biggest obstacle, hurdle, challenge, just period for me, was, staying away from eating a lot of food. I wasn't like fat or overweight, but I wasn't like toned and in shape like I have been for quite some time now. But yeah, it was just really nailing down a clean, proper diet. Of course, having a cheat meal every now and then is not going to kill anybody, but I was not very good at staying away from sugar. And this is before my grandpa passed away and everything. And before I really researched what I was putting in my body. But yeah, when I got into the fitness side of things, just the weightlifting, but not the nutrition aspect of things, it was hard to actually, keep a clean diet, because I never really cared too much about what I was putting in my body. And oftentimes I had a lot of, sugar addictions from what I was eating. So that's one of those things about sugar. When you eat enough of it, especially in high amounts, you're going to get addicted, and your body craves that on a daily basis. And it's hard to stay away from it. It's kind of like a drug in its own right. And that was my biggest issue and biggest concern, especially as I got more familiar with what I was, just recently putting in my body. When I was researching this, I was like, okay, in the past like week, I've had like several packages of Twizzlers. I've had, Gatorades that are supposed to be healthy, but have a lot of sugar in them. And I've had, Slim Jims, Cheez-Its, like the whole box. I swear I was not a healthy person before. I wasn't, again, like overweight, but I would eat anything and everything. So that was my biggest obstacle, hands down, just the diet side of things and trying to just eat clean and not overeat and just have a really good balance, period.
Outstanding. And as you got more comfortable in the gym and with your nutrition, what has become your favorite, fitness routine or your favorite day to train? What's your favorite training day?
My favorite training day definitely would have to be, I would have to say hands down. It used to be legs, it used to be lower body, but I would have to just say upper body, just pure upper body, because I love getting in just the chest, the back, shoulders, and biceps and triceps. And I love, depending on where I'm at with my goals, I do love to superset, sometimes throw in a circuit or two and kind of mix it up. But I do love upper body, just getting in, the chest pump. And there's nothing like that. Yeah. Monday's chest day.
Monday chest day. All right, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
This Monday is my chest day too. I had to rotate a little bit due to other schedules, but Monday is going to be chest day this week, then Tuesday back, and whatever day I fall into legs is legs.
Oh, yeah. And Monday is tomorrow, so.
Gotta get up early and get it before it
Oh,
gets
yeah.
hot as fuck here again.
Most definitely.
As you've grown your business, have you used any mentors or any guidance, anyone that giving you pointers to get you started as an entrepreneur in the fitness world, or you just kind of did it by feel?
Yeah, that's a great question. So initially, I did do it by feel for a little bit, but obviously, it's one of those things that while you could swing, it's not very easy to just, swing right off the bat and be successful, especially. That's a whole nother ball game. To do a business, any business, online, brick and mortar, you do need oftentimes some mentorship. Now, having a business is different from having a successful business, as you would probably know. And having that mentor, what's cool about that is it shortens the learning curve, and it really shortened the learning curve for me. It was a lot easier to come to terms with what I needed to do, what I didn't need to do. Any unnecessary stuff I could just cut out, and he would definitely guide me every step of the way. So I did have a mentor who, funny enough, does fitness coaching himself, but he also does digital marketing. And that was one of those things that he really helps people with, especially when it's in the same niche or niche as him.
Definitely. And those are people that understand that there's enough room in the sea for all of us.
Oh, yeah.
In the same field of business, and there's enough clients out there for both of us to be successful. We can help each other without going against each other.
Yeah.
That's the best kind of mentor out there.
100%. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, he was definitely one of those guys that just really helped dial in what my core focus was. My core target audience, obviously, you can help more people than that target audience, but having that dialed in, you can better focus your ideal client most of the time. So that also really helped too, from a business perspective as well.
Definitely. You can always also reach back and say, have you ever had a client that had X? And what did you do to overcome that X problem for them? And that,
Oh, yeah.
that mind meld helps the other person even more, because you both are in the same business, but you're also in the business of helping people become better.
Right.
And once that your mentor heard that, say, hey, look, yeah, I'll help you do this. This is what I did. See if this works.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sure that goes back and forth. I'm sure now he can reach back to you, or she can reach back to you and say, "Hey, have you had any clients that had this, and what did you do?" Because now as you grow, you'll have the same stories.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully,
Definitely.
and keep helping, then help the next person that's growing their business. And that's how this whole game has to work. You got to keep helping each other.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah. What keeps you motivated now?
Yeah, man, what really keeps me motivated at the current time in my life, it would have to be there's a couple things I would have to say for sure there's a couple things. So one of them just being and really realizing my overall why, like we were mentioning earlier. So just remembering, especially on days that I'm not very motivated or some days that I might feel a little off, so to speak, just remembering my why and refocusing on that why and that initial, push and pull to start what I started and keep going down the journey. That keeps me motivated. And knowing that, having that consistency to back it up, that also really helps keep me motivated because motivation's great, but having that consistency to back it up makes that motivation a lot thicker and actually makes it permanent because motivation usually comes and goes. But when you have that consistency to back it up and that discipline alongside knowing your why, that helps keep you motivated and consistent all the way. I would say beyond that, the only other thing that keeps me motivated, other than just really envisioning my goals and my why, would have to be just seeing the transformations that I've had with my current clients so far and all the past clients I've had and helped. That also really keeps me motivated 100%.
And I know your number on Podmatch says 50 clients. I'm sure you've had more than that since you made that profile.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
are you still just a one man show, or are you thinking about bringing maybe an intern in or something like that to help you grow even more?
Yeah, so right now, still a one man show, but I definitely do believe in delegation. I definitely believe in delegation. So that would be one of those things I'm looking into in the near future, sooner than later.
Awesome. That's the best way to be right there. So,
Oh,
Roman,
yeah.
it's been great chatting with you, learning about you. Now, the audience will probably need to get some tips from you. What's 3 tips that they can do starting tomorrow to make themselves a better person?
Yes. So, number one, find your why. I know we've said it a few times already, but just find your why. Find that driving force, that driving factor that really gets you on that path, on that journey. And that will help just really shape you for the journey that you want and the journey that you need to go on. So everyone has a purpose, but that will help just focus in and center around that purpose. From there, just remember just remember motivation, it gets you going, but consistency keeps you growing. So yeah, having that motivation, it's huge. You got to have that initial fire, but you also need that consistency to back it up, as I was mentioning earlier. Because if you don't have that consistency, that discipline, and that pure dedication, you're not going to get to your station. So make sure to just be consistent. And then also, last but not least, just just remember this, and this is a really good one. This is a really good one. There are no bad days, just learning days. So, there's always good days that people like to say, and there's those bad days that people like to say to you. But in all actuality, while there's great days, good days, and those bad days, while they seem like bad days, they're actually not because you're going to learn something from it. So even if that one day that seems really ugly and it just doesn't really go as planned, it's not really as bad as you think because you're at least going to learn something from that experience. So either way, you come out even. So no matter what, you're always growing and you're always going to be going towards your destination.
Awesome. And we say something here called stacking victories. So
Oh,
every day,
yeah.
count your wins all day long. You're going to have setbacks every day. Every day, you're going to have something that doesn't go right. Learn from it, but keep moving forward and keep stacking the other victories. and you'll have a better day today than tomorrow and keep moving forward. So that's what we do here at Misfit Nation. That goes right in with that. That's awesome.
I love that. Yeah.
So, Roman, how does someone get in contact with you to either have you on their show or just hire you to be their fitness guru?
Yeah, for sure. So if you want to learn more about me and what I do and all the people I've helped, and if you want help, then all you got to do is go to romanfisherofficial.com. That's where you can find all that information and apply to become a client as well. Also, additionally, if you want to connect with me on social media, it's Roman Fischer Official, and I have that on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. That's my handle.
Awesome. It's good that you got all of them locked in. That's awesome. That's outstanding. And that website is going across the bottom of the screen now for those of you who are watching it. For those of you who will listen to this in the future, it'll be in the show notes for you to click on and visit Roman at his site. Roman, again, thank you for taking some of your time tonight to hang out with us and just give your knowledge to the Misfit Nation. It's been awesome talking to you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Same to you.
You have a great night.
You as well. Thanks.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com to catch up on all of our episodes and also to get some of that great Misfit Nation gear. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are